Now I'm back here on my session about my reading books daily. I'm challenging myself here to give you more insights about what I am thinking about what I'm reading. And the book that I am reading about is Your Brain at Work. So I don't know, was I live? Did I do live yesterday? But I forgot about it. But today we are continuing doing our reading at the same time. I can give value to myself and I can give value to you. So on page 174 of this book, it's called Fairness Can Be More Rewarding Than Money. Okay, Gulnas Tabibnia, an assistant professor at Carnegie Mellon University, studies fairness and the way people make judgment about it. The tendency to prefer equity and resist unfair outcomes is deeply rooted in people. Tabibnia explains one of Tabibnia's studies in collaboration with Matt Lieberman use an exercise called the ultimatum game. In the ultimatum game, two people receive a pot of money to split between them. One person makes a proposal, how about to split the money? And the other person has to decide whether to accept the proposal or not. If they don't accept the proposal, neither of them gets reward. Inequity version is strong. Iniquity aversion is so strong. Tabibnia explains that people are willing to sacrifice personal gain in order to prevent another person from receiving an inequitably better outcome. Surprisingly, when people receive $5 out of 10, the reward center light up more than when they receive, say, $5 out of 20. In other words, the reward circuitry is activate more when an offer is fair than it's unfair. Even when there is no additional money to gain. Tabibnia explains fairness is seem can be more important than money. It is so true. Um, because you are creating relationship if you are doing it with fairness with others, and sometimes it doesn't really do as well, but if both are doing so fair, it's more important than money. It is so true. The relationship really matters. It's more important. The Biblia explains how this works in the brain. Okay, let's hear about it. This is a brain called region stratum, STRIATUM, that responds when you get what's called a primary reward. The stratum receives rich dopamine, dopaminergic input from the midbrain and is involved in positive reinforcement and reward-based learning. When people experience fair treatment, this circuitry is activated. When they are experiencing unfairness, their anterior insula is activate. The reason is this interesting is the insula has been associated with disgust in previous studies. Okay, the reason is interesting in insula associated with disgust in previous studies. When you get a disgust taste, okay, anterior insula. Gustatory and social disgust are being processed in the same part of the brain, just as social reward and gustatory reward are processed in the ventral stratum. These social reinforcers might map onto the brain in a similar way, at least in part, as more primary reinforcers. Fairness doesn't intuitively as say food or sex. I'm gonna Fairness doesn't intuitively feel like it is the same importance as, say, foods or sex. Because of this, many people don't tend to value food enough as a result, like Paul in this scene. Yeah, because yeah, are blindsided by intensity of a fairness response. It has to be start by you. If you don't want to be so greedy, you have to treat it as fair to other people besides you. You consider other people that they might like this idea and I like this idea. And if you don't like it, well, I'll do yours. So it has to be fair. So if you like my idea, that's good. If you don't like my idea, give me your idea. I'll do it somewhere that you can help others to benefit too. This is another example of Maslow perhaps being wrong. Society values survival needs such survival needs such as food, money, water, your safe, your first aid kit. Well, before social issues such as fairness, as a result, a day-long team meeting might pay attention to ensuring everyone has enough food. Forget all about people's perception of fairness around how the day is organized. More and more research point to the insight that a sense of fairness could be harder to handle than an empty stomach. More, more and more research point to the insight that sense of unfairness could be harder to handle than an empty stomach. Did you hear that one? Because when you're dealing with empty stomach, you can handle it for the next hour that you don't have something to eat or something to drink. Because if you feel like it's unfair, you cannot handle it. It's in your brain than in your stomach. Fair play. So we're now on a fair play. Fair play. Neuroscientist Stephen Pinker has a theory about where this tense response to fairness comes from, which he's outlined in the book How the Mind Works. Oh, I like this one. How the Mind Works. Okay. How the Mind Works. Okay. Pinker thinks that the fairness response has emerged as byproduct mhm, of the need to trade efficiently. In your evolutionary past, when you couldn't store food in the refrigerator, the best place to store resources would have been giving favors to others. Resources were stored in other people's brain as potential reciprocal snacks down the road. Yes. If like if you're, for example, if you cannot store it in the fridge, you have to store it with for someone else, right? Like for example, like I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is I'm simply reading the books and try to say something what I'm thinking about that this word right here, what I'm thinking about and what can I analyze it. It's a byproduct of the trade efficient in your evolutionary past. When I'm rereading it, when you couldn't store food in a refrigerator, the best place to store resources is have been giving favor, right? So if you have, like, for example, have a lot, and you cannot store it in the refrigerator, you have to give it away, and can you do a favor, can I keep it in your refrigerator? Same thing with your knowledge. If you cannot store it in your knowledge, spread it. I like this one. See? Oh my gosh, I like it, byproduct. And I like this one. I'm going to, yeah. So whenever I am giving this an idea, at least someone hears it. If no one hears it, I know God will hear me. This mental exchange was especially important in hunter gathering days. When protein sources arrive intermittent, a bison felled filled by one person would be too much meat just for his family. To be good at this kind of trading, you need the ability to detect cheaters. Yes. Who are the cheaters right here? People who promise but don't deliver. Sometimes you'll just have to gather more information about the person. If they say they don't do it, nah, cross. If they say but they do it, check. And sometimes next, if they don't do it, they're still wrong, but check. These days, with fridges and banks account, you don't need to trust other people in such a primal way. Your fairness detecting circuit. Oh, wow. Circuits are still there, but now they tend to get more of a workout in the form of leisure activities such as game, cheat, played by kids, Hold'em, Texas Hold'em poker, now played millions of adults that okay. That Texas Hold'em poker now played by millions of adults the world over. These games provide an opportunity to flex your cheating and cheater detecting muscle. Wow, really? While fairness is no while fairness in real life can generate a threat or reward, detecting unfairness can be fun for the whole family. Okay, so when it's just not fair. Okay. I'm now here. When it's not just fair, let's dive deeper into the threat and reward response relating to unfairness. Beginning with the more common of and stronger feeling of unfairness, perceiving unfairness generating intense arousal of the limbic system. While all the attendant challenges this brings, as one example, because of the generalizing effect, accident connection become easier. If you think one person is being unfair, everyone else may seem to be acting unfairly. It's a mirror. Two, in this scene, Ned's fairness issue came from thinking Paul wasn't taking into account their long history of helping each other. In an overly aroused state, Paul responded with his own sense of unfairness, mistakenly thinking that Ned was asking him to lose money on the project. Many arguments between people, especially those close to us, involve incorrect perceptions of unfairness, triggering events that activate an even deeper sense of unfairness in all parties. So, trust is really, really the best foundation of all. Because if you have trust, then you can give yourself others with fairness. Being slight mind being slight mind blind for a moment, the result can be an intense downward spiral driven by accident connection and one's expectation, then altering perception. Labeling may not be strong enough to bring a fairness response under control. You may need a more powerful tool such a reappraisal. Reappraisal. An important type of reappraisal here is to see the situation from other person's point of view. I like that. Okay. An important type of reappraisal is to see the situation from other person's point of view. This is what you have to be a good listener. You have to be open-minded so that your lid like the lid of this one. I know I have a lid for this one. That's the lid. To be an effective leader, to be an effective leader, your lid should be higher, not little open. So you have to be open so that you'll be able to be a more effective leader. You'll be able to listen more closely, say that one more time, and see more clearly, understand better. Okay. Lid, the low of the lid. Trust. But reappraisal takes a lot of resources. which make it hard to do when unfairness kicks in. And seeing someone else's point of view when you have tagged him as a foe is hard too. To manage an unfairness response, you might have to do it quickly before arousal kicks in. So even then, it's really still the experience you still have to do more calmly. You have to be more calm personality because otherwise, if unfairness response comes in, we always have this natural animal instinct to fight, to react. Since unfairness packs a hefty punch, it's easy to get upset by small injustice when you're tired. So it's really important when you're fully rested, because the best decision is when your brain is fully charged, when you're fully rested, because bad decision comes from lack of sleep, lack of rest. So see, whatever this one is, if you're lack of sleep, you'll react a lot. You react what's going on and you get irritated a lot, so okay. Or when your limbic system already has strong load of arousal, you have to be extra careful in this situation. If you are kept awake by young children, it's easy to get cranky. See, did I just say that one? If you are if you are if you are kept awake by young children, it's easy to get cranky because you're not fully rested. You have to be able to have a very good, you know relaxed and not tense, with partner asking you for help. If you've had a bad day at work, it's easier to get unnecessarily annoyed with a supplier who you think might be ripping you off, even though it might only be for pennies. Fairness come a lot. I want to go with this one. So since fairness packs and hefty pack, you get upset by justice. Yeah. So it's easier to come back here. Yeah, important. Yeah, right here. But be ripping you off. Okay, so right here. So Fairness comes up a lot when dealing with children. Do as I say, not do as I do. Do as I say, not do as I do. Is a statement parent wish they could use, but kids are finely attuned to fairness. Yes. Yeah, that's true. It's a statement parents were used to, but kids are finely attuned to fairness. Even from an early age, Michelle felt insulted by being treated unfairly and identified that Paul was treating her differently from her brother. With a teenage brain, small emotional hits can bring strong reaction. Prefrontal cortex functioning tends to shrink briefly as teen hits puberty. Oh, they cannot really make a good decision. There is no wrong or right. They shrink briefly, which explains why a teen-year-old may have better emotional control than 15-year-old. Wow. Prefrontal functions recovers. See, I know it widens my perception by reading this kind of book. People have the idea a lot, then we use it. Prefrontal functioning recovers in late teens and reaches an adult state only in the early 20s. One theory for why the teen brain seemed to go backward for a while is that in the past, teenage who did irrational things such as having children pass on their genes more than people who exhibited self-control. I wanted to just okay, not here. I need a highlighter. Somehow I don't know where's my highlighter. I found somewhere. I need to have a highlighter, but somehow I don't have a highlighter here. But I'll just have to. use this one. Okay. So where is it? So one theory. So prefrontal. So right here. One. It's so small. Okay. Forget about it. So prefrontal functioning recovers on in late teens and reaches an adult state only in their early 20s. One theory for why the teen brain seemed to go backward for a while is that in the past, teenagers who did irrational things as having children passed on their genes more than people who exhibited control because of the poor emotional regulation capacity. Teens tend to feel the threats and reward arising from fairness and uncertainty, anatomy, and relatedness very intense. Perhaps this explains both the door slamming argument teens with their parents, along with their influx into social justice project. So what happened to Mitchell now? Okay, Mitchell, what are you doing here, huh? Let me see. Yeah, that's all of it. Thank you. Okay, great. All right, at least I get to help someone. Justice is its own reward. Okay. Justice is its own reward. Okay. On this plus side, fairness is hedonically hedonically rewarding, activating dopamine, activating dopamine cells deep in the brain. Okay. Fairness is eh, fairness is hedonically rewarding. Okay, so activating dopamine cells deep in the brain, the way a good meal or an unexpected bonus at work might do. When you experience a fairness response, it's likely that serotonin, a natural transmitter that puts you at ease, increases. Although no studies have yet shown this directly. Prozac, and Zoloft are antidepressant drugs that works by increasingly level of serotonin in the brain. Oh, antidepressant. Why would you do it? The feeling you get from a sense of fairness is one of connecting safely with others. So it's linked to relatedness. When you feel someone is being fair, there is also feeling of increased trust. Whoa! So if you have a good serotonin on serotonin, a neurotransmitter that puts you at ease, calming. When you feel someone is being fair, there is also feeling of increasing trust. Yes. Study shows that self-related sense of trust and cooperation increase when people experience fair offer. Yeah, when they hear there's an offer right there and they don't even know what's the back end of it, they just like get so excited, like yay, this is it. But then later on, bam, scam. And then later on, your serotonin and oxytocin goes down, and you're having that cortisol. Bang, cortisol kicks in. Oxytocin level increase in fairness. I just said it. Oxytocin level increase in fair exchange. Yeah, two. So, an increasing sense of fairness increases your level of dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. This generates towards emotion state that makes you open to new ideas and more willing to connect with others. I love my dopamine. So I love my dopamine, I love my serotonin, and I love my oxytocin. This generates towards emotional state that makes you open to new ideas and more willingness to connect with other people. This is a great state for collaboration with others. Okay. Yet so many structures inside organizations, especially large organizations, work against employees feeling a sense of fairness. They also common complaints about pay. Performance and transparency are certain linked to fairness. Okay. Performance and transparency are certainly linked to fairness. In the big downsizing of 2009, one firm's executive agreed to pay cut of 15%, making a deal making a big deal that this was three times more than 5% cut all staff were being asked to undergo to help reduce lays off. While a 15% cut meant thousands of dollar Okay, while a 15% cut meant thousands of dollars a year less pay for an executive, this didn't affect their bonuses. Many in the teens of millions of dollars. You can imagine how employees felt about that. In a separate incident, remember the furor, furo, furor, I don't know, furor that blew up around bonuses at AIG. Okay. AIG paid out to executives after the company lost billions and paid with government bailout funds. One interesting one interesting implication of fairness research is the idea that the workplace that truly allows employees to experience an increased perception of fairness might be intrinsically rewarding. This may explains why people perform better in certain workplace culture. I asked one executive I shared a car ride with why he had stayed at the same company for 22 years. I don't know, he replied. I guess it's because they always seem to do their best to do the right thing for everyone. Char. Organization trying to increase a sense of encouragement could do well recognize that people experiencing a sense of unfairness may get as upset as being told they won't get to eat for a day. Oh, that's really unfair. Some organizational research published in the Harvard Business Review around corporate restructuring found that when people understood that the decision were made fairly, the impact of downsizing was dramatically less. On the other hand, people who feel themselves to be treated unfairly by an organized can be generate no end of complaints. Living in a world that appears unfair affect people's cortisol level, their well-being, and even their longevity. Yeah. Mm, no wonder so many people won't stay in corporate job when they think that their company isn't doing the fair thing. Yes, of course. Same thing with me. The company, the Arrow, they fired me. They fired me because this is how I feel. Okay, okay, I'm gonna reread again. Okay, right? No wonder so many people won't stay in corporate job when they think that their company isn't doing the fair thing because the workers there are employees also. They are also employee. They are not the owners. Even though my manager there is higher, she's still an employee. And the only thing she can do is fire, 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 fire. Let's find another one to fire. And they're making people upset. They're making people upset. And this is what people should be thinking about having an online business because no one will fire you. I have my own business. I can't fire me. This is my business. Who's gonna work? Me. If I'm gonna quit, well, it's my own business. I can't make money with my business if I quit. So if I want to make money, then I have to work, right? At least no one is telling me, "Hey, admin, do this one," except my guilt and my discipline. That's it. It's just only me. It's only you. So you still want to work? Go ahead. It's okay to have job, and sometimes you're never gonna be working for forever in your job. is what I'm saying. But if you're not gonna act right now of having to have a side hustle, then what are you going to do when you get old? Because um where what book did I read that one, that less than $98,000 in your bank account for the whole of your time when you are at the age of retirement, when you're retired already, and only a few people get a little bit of money when you retired, because you know you don't get that much money. You spend that much. Whatever, if you want to work until you die, go ahead. But I just want to pray that my business would raise more. This is one place you can go to experience a regular increase in the sense of fairness, and that's to work for social justice organization that distribute food for the poor or generally serve underprivileged communities. Underprivileged. When you right perceived wrong, when you're right perceived wrongs, such as people being hungry when their food being wasted 2 blocks away, you increase your sense of fairness. Organization that allows people to take their time on community project are letting their employees be rewarded by a perception of increased fairness. Many employees many employees find this is deeply satisfying part of their job. As an added bonus here, a study has shown that giving to other activities is a greater reward response than receiving gifts of similar values. So sharing your time or resource, donating money might help you not only sense greater fairness but also feel better when you would receiving a gift yourself. So that's it for right now. I'm not gonna spend more time in here because I've been doing this for 32 minutes. Close the book and let's go to sleep. Okay, it's 9:39. So I'm gonna go to my Facebook, and I hope that this one goes to my Facebook. This is for my um, YouTube business page, YouTube channel, YouTube business channel. So anyway, and today, I am truly grateful that I am able to sign a contract on my house. That next month will be my house now. So we have agreed, and I'm truly grateful for today that I gained so much knowledge, and I gained a lot of rest today, and I had a good night. I good not good night, but I had a good nap this afternoon. So I wish everyone would be at peace, and I wish everyone and I pray everyone to have good health and more joy in their day wherever you are around the world, around the globe. I don't know if it's around the globe because it seems like it's more sense to me that the world is flat. So I don't know. I'm still learning, and I'm still listening to if the world is if the world is globe, or if it's the world is flat. I don't know, but I'm leaning towards to be believing that the earth is flat. So we'll see. I'm getting more information about it, but maybe I'm wrong. But we'll see. Yeah, this is just only my knowledge, but I'm here to gain more knowledge to understand better which one's which. But this is just only me. If you believe what you believe, I believe in you because that's what you believe. And this is what we come in here in this world is to know things and to just experience how life is. So I'm experiencing good life right now. I'm experiencing good health and good relationship with God and good relationship with other people. So stay tuned, and I will see you next time. God bless you and be extraordinary. Bye bye for right now.